name is Juan Becerra. I was born and raised in Cordoba, Argentina, and my family and I moved here in October of '99 when I was 12 years old. I graduated from Stimson Middle School and Will Whitman High School in the Southampton School District, and from Stony Brook University, double major in political science and history. As far as hobbies, I like to play tennis and watch soccer. I like reading nonfiction and fiction, and spending times outside with my family. I'm married to my wife of 9 years, and we have a little boy, a 3-year-old, who keeps us very busy. My parents still live in Huntington, and I'm still closely connected to that community as well. I work for the Department of Human Resources. I'm the Director of Human Resources. I've been there in that position since April of this year, and I am charged with the hiring of all positions for the town, as well as all promotions, and then everything related to our policies that we have in place, making sure we're compliant, such as providing training to all of our employees, and if we receive any sorts of complaints under our harassment or workplace violence policies, I am charged with complying with those as well. So back in Argentina, both my parents worked in the public service. My dad worked in what would be the equivalent of the state legislature for many years. My mother was an architect for a public sector union. So government work and public service has always been a conversation in our family. Both my sister and I kind of took a lot from that. And that's what took me to take my first civil service exam for administrative aid, which is how I was first hired for the town. And this has been my real first civil service job. And I've been here for 10 years now. Being there for our employees and providing them with the tools and resources they need to continue to serve our community. They do so diligently day in and day out, and I just want to be there for them, to support them in whatever way they need, and also to hire, to get good qualified talent to fill our positions, which is not often easy, but we always do our best to provide and get the best workers we can to serve our residents and constituents. When I first learned about civil service, I actually didn't, even though my family came from that sort of work back in Argentina, I didn't really know much about civil service here in Long Island specifically. So I learned from going to the Department of Labor, and that's how I came to know about the Suffolk County Department of Civil Service. So I would encourage people to learn more about the county's civil service agency. You can go on their website, and I'm more than happy to help anyone if they ever want to come talk to me or give me a call, whatever way is easiest for them. But to read up on how civil service works, because all municipalities in the county hire from the exams and the lists that the Civil Service Department creates. So I would just suggest that people, either go visit their office or go on their website, learn more about it, and to sign up for exams. Take as many as they qualify for, and that will widen your options of going into public service. I think it's a very fulfilling job. Once you get your foot on the door, then there's ways to move up and or around. Like I said, when I was first hired, I came into the Municipal Works Department as an administrative aide. And then I kept basically checking the Civil Service website to see what exams were being offered. And that's how I came to the administrative assistant exam, which was the next in line. So I took that test. I scored decently well. And that's when an opportunity in human resources came up. I applied for it. I was one of 5 candidates at the time. They ended up choosing me, but like I said, just staying on top of what civil service offers and taking those exams, right? Getting on the lists, that's kind of what opened the opportunities for me. And then once I was in the HR department, I was the assistant to the director at the time, just being committed to the job and working closely with her. She was a great mentor to me. I was eventually promoted to affirmative action officer. The doors were opened, just being, like I said, committed to the job, coming in with just good energy, right? Willing to help people and be of service. When we first moved here, I didn't speak any English, just some basic words, and I was placed in the English as a second language program, and it was difficult in the beginning, of course, right? But with a little time and patience, I ended up, picking it up eventually, very slowly, and I know it can be difficult, but again, just a little perseverance and being attuned to your surroundings, and those things fall into place. As you get exposed to it, you start to learn about how to deal in the workplace, how to handle yourself, right? Certain situations, how to be with people and have conversations. These things, oftentimes, I think people expect them to come naturally, but everything can be learned, right? And you just have to be willing to put yourself out there.